Welcome to our Arizona Revised Statutes video library. I'm Shawnna Riggers, Managing Attorney at Arizona Family Law Attorneys. My goal is to take this somewhat dry information, make it a little bit more entertaining, and also provide you with information regarding the laws that are applicable to dissolution, parenting time, custody, child support cases here in Arizona. This is being filmed in 2023, so it's important that if you're seeing that afterwards, that you double check the statute to make sure that it is the most current version. And if you have any questions regarding any of the material, as always, please feel free to reach out to us here at Arizona Family Law Attorneys, where we provide peace of mind as there is no substitute. 25-213, separate property. A spouse's real and personal property that is owned by that spouse before marriage and that is acquired by that spouse during the marriage by gift, devise, or descent, and the increase, rents, issues, and profits of that property is the separate property of that spouse. B, property that is acquired by a spouse after service of a petition for dissolution of marriage, legal separation, or annulment is also the separate property of that spouse if the petition results in a decree of dissolution of marriage, legal separation, or annulment. C, notwithstanding B of this section and section 25-214 subsection C, a mortgage or deed of trust executed by a spouse who acquires the real property encumbered by that mortgage or a deed of trust after service of a petition of dissolution of marriage, legal separation, or annulment shall be enforceable against the real property if the petition does not result in a decree of dissolution of marriage, legal separation, or annulment. D, a contribution to an irrevocable trust that has or will have as its principal asset life insurance on the person making the contribution is a contribution of the insured's separate property if the spouse of the insured is the primary beneficiary of the trust. It's so important to make sure that in a dissolution that you are receiving all of your separate property. You also want to make sure that you try to claw back any separate property that may have possibly been commingled with community property. For instance, if you purchased a home prior to the marriage and there are steps for valuing that home, and if there's any sort of a community lien, which we'll discuss later. But separate property is very, very important because it's something that would be solely owned by that spouse, and it's important to make sure that that is retained for their future and is properly divided in a dissolution process.